What's up, guys? Netflix's most impressive project of July just got released, and honestly, I was very anxious to watch this movie. It featured a cast which had two of my favorite actors, the story seemed interesting, and the poster for it was pretty cool. Did it deliver? I'm Valentin Prince, the movie guy, and this is my review for The Old Guard. Andy is the leader of an immortal mercenary squad that does missions for multiple parties. One day, while in Morocco, they meet an ex-CIA operative who gives them a job. Some kids, the oldest being 13, were abducted. But the mission is actually a setup.
It's a trap!
When they reached the room where they thought the kids were going to be, it was actually filled with soldiers who gunned them down worse than Sonny got gunned down at the toll booth. But with them being immortal, they get back up and slaughter the soldiers. Now they have to find the operative that gave them this job and make sure that they keep their identity secret. Their job gets complicated after the discovery of another member. One of the things that this movie nails right from the beginning is the mentality of a person burdened with immortality. They have great responsibility on their shoulders. Some of them can keep doing this and have no problem with trying to save the world, like Nikki and Joe, but others like Andy are tired. In the first scene of the movie, Andy is on the ground filled with bullet holes and she hopes that she won't wake up from this. But she does. She is tired of not making a difference in the world, of it getting worse and worse, and the performance behind the character amplifies this feeling. The action is pretty good. I expected the choreography to be much better than it actually is, but it's still entertaining. Seeing the equipment of the mercenary is weird though. It's like playing in an RPG. They have M4s in hand and swords or axes on their backs. It looks weird, but the melee weapons provide the most amount of entertainment, at least for me. Andy's axe looks amazing and she wields it like she was born with it in her hands. The movie gets a bit boring and it really shouldn't have gotten. Maybe a reduced runtime would have benefited this movie, but I think it was just a pacing issue. For about 15 to 20 minutes before the third act, it just gets boring. It barely advances the story. The movie basically followed the formula of backstory, followed by exposition on how immortality works, followed by action scene, and then repeat. I also didn't like the music. I didn't feel like it was right for the vibe of the movie. It's just my personal opinion, but I think they could have done a better job at finding music better suited for the action and the serious scenes. The villain is bad. Merrick, the villain, owns a pharma company and he wants these four immortals so he can make a pill that will make people immortal, so he can get rich. He's just being an asshole for the sake of being an asshole. I think the best villains are the ones that have one redeemable quality. This guy does not have that. At one point he says, "I will carve them up for years until I get what I want." It just felt like it was too much. I enjoyed the characters. They get really good backstories. John and Nikki have met each other during the Crusades. They fought for opposite sides and they kept killing each other. Somewhere they found out that they love each other and now they're more than just a couple. They're everything to one another. Booker fought alongside Napoleon. He has tasted the grief of losing people and is tired of being alone. Same with Andy, whom I've already spoken about. Nile, the last member, was a Marine before she joined the mercenaries. She was reluctant at first because of the hardships that immortality brings. As I've said in the intro, two of my favorite actors play in this movie. Charlize Theron is an action movie star, way up there with Tom Cruise and Keanu Reeves. She plays a serious character and she nails the feel of Andy, tired of constantly fighting and feeling like she doesn't make a difference. The second actor is Matthias Schoenaerts. He plays Booker. He's very charismatic and I'm glad that he got this high profile role. He deserves it. All the other actors deserve praise because all of them were good. My favorite scene is the story of Quina. So, the first ever immortal one was Andy. The second one was Quina. They were best friends, they fought in wars together, and they were happy. They tried to help some heretics in London in connection to a witch trial, and they get caught. They get tortured, but they were still together. The torturers come up with an idea. They take Quina, they put her in an iron casket, and they dump her in the ocean. So every day she drowns, comes back to life, and drowns again, and so on and so forth. It was a chilling story and heartbreaking as well. There are fates worse than death. I expected this movie to be great, and it wasn't great, but it was good. If you have Netflix and you want to watch a movie, this one deserves your attention. In its ending, it set up an interesting idea for a sequel, which really has me intrigued. For my alternative pick, I choose Sin City, another movie based on a graphic novel. Its action is good, the story is good, and so are the characters. So, my rating for The Old Guard is 3 stars.